In a haunting flashback, Colette Akins prepares her deceased father's body in the family mortuary while enduring cruel mockery from her sister, Liza. As Liza insults their late father and labels Colette a freak, Colette succumbs to the disembodied voice of her father, a manifestation of her auditory psychosis, which manipulates her and commands her to stand up for herself. Obeying the voice, Colette violently slits Liza's throat with an embalming knife. Shane shares that his dinner with his mother, Lazarus, was surprisingly warm, noting that she appeared genuinely open and curious about him. He defends her leadership of the inmate recovery operation, recounting her claim that she is driven by a belief in the program's work. According to Shane, Lazarus discovered that he was her son only a couple of weeks ago. However, Bex and Hassani remain deeply skeptical, viewing her history as the former head of the pit with suspicion. The tension escalates when Hassani reveals that 3 inmates have vanished without records since Lazarus took control of transport, prompting Shane to defend his mother and urge the team not to judge her solely based on her past. At the command center, Morales informs the team that Henry Bradley was found dead. Fingerprints positively identify the suspect as Colette Akins, an inmate currently missing from the pit. The team reviews her dark history, noting that her serial killing spree began in 2015 when she murdered her bullying sister Liza with an embalming knife. Colette, whose auditory psychosis was likely triggered by long-term exposure to formaldehyde, claimed to act under the command of her deceased father's voice. This psychosis drove her signature modus operandi, stalking women who resembled her sister and concealing their bodies within coffins handled by the family's mortuary. With her profile established, the team prepares to hunt her down. Watching her pit sessions, the team realizes that initially Colette refused to reveal her victims' burial sites, following the commands of her father's voice. The pit handlers attempted to silence these hallucinations by Professor Fairfax's experimental surgery, but the procedure only left Colette uncooperative. To regain control, the handlers used a synthesized recording of her father's voice, scraped from an old commercial, to trick her. Believing her father had returned, Colette finally divulged the locations, proving the pit was willing to weaponize her psychosis to extract the information they wanted. The team visits the Bradley mortuary, formerly the Akins family business, where they confirmed that owner Henry Bradley was murdered a week ago with an embalming scalpel. Through questioning the janitor, they discovered that a high-end floor model coffin and a work van are missing. The team deduces that Colette did not return to the scene to commit a fresh murder, but rather to scavenge specific supplies. They conclude she is preparing for a new abduction, as the stolen coffin is central to her specific and macabre modus operandi. The team discovers that Colette has kidnapped Marty. After confirming via ring camera footage, the team investigates his background, discovering that Marty, Colette, and her sister all attended Washington High School. During a search, the police uncover a body in a cemetery. It is not Marty, but Nelson Stewart, a missing nursery worker. The team deduces that Colette murdered Nelson specifically to steal his burial plot and coffin for Marty. The team frantically searches for the connection between Marty and Nelson. Meanwhile, Marty is trapped and terrified in a coffin. He awakens to find Colette demanding that he sing for her as a condition of his survival. Elsewhere, the investigative team interviews a co-worker of the previous victim, Nelson Stewart, and learns that he was an aspiring singer-songwriter with a unique voice. Connecting these details, the team tracks Colette's movements to a karaoke bar, discovering that she spends her nights watching potential victims, waiting for the right voice to sing her father's favorite lullaby, Hush Little Baby. The team stakes out the karaoke bar,
When Colette arrives and takes a hostage, the confrontation escalates into a high-stakes standoff. As the team tries to talk her down, Bex executes a psychological maneuver by using a voice modulator to mimic Colette's deceased sister, Liza. By haunting Colette with the voice of her sister she murdered, Bex pushes her to a psychological breaking point. Terrified by her sister's apparent return, Colette surrenders the location of the abandoned farmhouse where Marty is being held. The team raids the site immediately, rescuing Marty just in time. The episode ends with a chilling revelation. Hassani receives a call revealing that 7 years ago, Lazarus personally fast-tracked the security clearance for a new pit hire, Shane Florence. Lazarus hasn't just discovered her son recently. She's been keeping tabs on him for nearly a decade.